What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and today I'm going to be reacting to Quantum TV. Oh joy. Quantum TV. Drama set straight. This is 23 minutes and 15 seconds of my life, and 23 and 15 are the amount of brain cells I'm going to lose by listening to this and reacting to it. Now, I'm suffering so you don't have to. You're welcome. Let's just get right into this.
Because of the talking points of the Act Man and Review Tech USA, my family is being threatened. My wife has been threatened, and it's to the point where people are threatening to rape my wife in front of me, hold me down.
Which, I will admit, is very heinous, and the people that are sending Quantum TV these messages and everything is very vile and heinous. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. Let's continue.
To make me watch, bash my head in with a hammer until my eyes bleed out. They're going to slit my throat and watch the blood come out of my mouth. Very graphic ways of talking about how they want to murder me because I'm some homophobic, transphobic piece of shit, menace, copyright abuser that doesn't belong on the platform. These are talking points that Review Tech USA and the Act Man have put out there.
Talking points. All they said is that they want you off the platform and that they don't approve with how you are handling things. They've never told any of your of their respective audiences to harass and dox you. In fact, they've said the exact opposite. Not to harass you and not to dox you. In fact, doxing is illegal. And last time I checked, when you do something illegal, you go to jail or prison. And nobody wants to go to jail or prison. Let's continue.
And it's because of these talking points they've inspired hatred. And I need to talk about...
No. You're not going to be able to play the victim card. Look, I said it earlier in my video titled, I believe it was Quantum... Hold on. Let me just do this really quick. Go here. Load. Yeah, Quantum TV isn't done, even though he says he is. Okay. I forgot what he said. I'm gonna have to go back.
That doesn't belong on the platform. These are talking points that Review Tech USA and the Act Man have put out there.
Oh, yes. Act Man and Review Tech, along with a lot of other creators, have said that you are bad for the platform, and I personally agree. And that YouTube should have banned you. But they haven't. So you're gonna set the record straight. Okay. You're not the victim here, Quantum. Guys, he's not the victim. I'm sorry to say, but he's not the victim. He can play whatever card he wants. But at the end of the day, everyone's seen his hand, and everyone has countered it.
And it's because of these talking points they've inspired hatred. And I need to talk about this as a content creator.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. No. Nope. Nope. All Actman and Review Tech and all the other creators that have made Quantum TV content, which, let's be fair, there is a lot of Quantum TV content out there. A lot of content which is against Quantum for obvious reasons. Like, you don't call somebody's mom. Quantum TV said in his Quantum TV, one of his Quantum TV podcasts, that he goes, "Make no mistake, I called Actman's mother about this." Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how somebody can think it's okay to get someone's mother's personal information, call them up and be like, "Hey, can you tell your son or daughter to quit?" Like, okay, I may be a little slow, which, for all intents and purposes, I am. You have to explain things to me 3 or 4 or 5, or maybe sometimes in a specific way, just so I can understand better what you're saying. It happens a lot, especially with my family. But they always have a way of rendering it down to where I can understand it. But I am just a tad bit slow on things. Even I would be like, okay, Actman made a video on me. What do you think the first thought in my head's going to be?
Sorry. Takes time. I know what it's like to you now.
The first thought in my head would be,
You moved to the ranch to be with you, and now you're never here.
Contact the Actman. Reach out to Actman. That's not what Quantum did. What Quantum did was completely unnecessary.
You like it, don't you?
Quantum? I don't even know how to explain it. Quantum, with his wisdom, said to himself, okay, it's time to get the Actman's mom involved, which is, I imagine when you called her, she's like, "Who are you, and why are you calling me?" Yeah. If I was the Actman's mom, I would, to be honest with you, if this happens with me, if I see a phone number that I don't know, I'll answer it. It's usually a scam call or a spam call or somebody looking for someone and they got the wrong number. Happens all the time. But if I saw Quantum TV's number, I would answer it, be cordial, as I possibly could be, and be like, who are you and why in the world are you calling me to get involved with someone else? Ackman's mom should have never, ever been involved in this. Now he can spin his little webs, which sick. Okay, I'm just gonna round it up. That 69,000 of his, I call them zombies because they eat right out of his hand, and zombies just go brains, brains, brains all the time. And they don't take a second look at things. They take what he says as gospel, which is very dangerous. In fact, before I go any further, I would like to note something. Oh, I guess it'd be easier to go into my YouTube studio. Okay. This is just from today. This Blaster 824 says, I feel like I lose 20 brain cells every time I read a comment from Quantum TV. Let's check out the 5 responses. Graveside Poet says his supporters' comments are worse. Everything from, so what if you're homophobic, to if you have any cousins that live the thug life, you should ask them to take care of some things, and none of them can process what fair use is, which Quantum TV can't process what fair use is. You see, fair use, you don't have to have somebody's permission. Okay, the best way I can explain it is this way, and this may be an extreme example, but let's say the police are chasing someone. The person goes into a house.
I subscribe to Nietzsche's thoughts.
Now, what do the cops do? Do the cops say, wait a minute, we can't go through the house? Even though our suspect went through the house, we can't go through the house without the owner's permission. No. What the cops are going to do is run through the house with or without the owner's permission to try to catch their suspect. Exact same thing here. Fair use is a gray area. It is not a set in stone area. That is why when you have fair use cases come up in court, I'm not going to say it's impossible to have an airtight case when it comes to fair use, because there is. This is what I said. I said, at Graveside Poet, do his supporters really say that? Then I was actually responding to Blaster here, but for some odd reason, it just, I don't get it. I said, I feel like my brain is going to explode while watching his videos, which it does, because the thing is, Quantum makes no sense to me. Alright, this is what Graveside Poet had to say. Yeah, I was scrolling through the comments on his recent video, and yeah, those comments are there. And then I commented this an hour ago. Oh my gosh, are they that brain dead? The answer to that is yes. Now, let's go back to the video. Wow. Okay, I had it at 39. Okay, that's close.
We need to talk about this as a content creator, as a YouTuber, and as a person, as a husband, as somebody who is just a human being in the world dealing with a true injustice on the platform, which...
True injustice? Wait. True injustice? In all seriousness, the only injustice that is going on is that you're still around. That Quantum TV is still around. And I don't mean this in a spiteful or hateful way, because I don't know Quantum TV. All I know is that this drama is completely unnecessary, and Quantum took it too far. Quantum is the one that is throwing gas on the fire. He's trying to stoke those embers, but there's just one problem with this. There is just one problem with this, and that problem is, ladies and gentlemen, embers only stay hot for so long. Let's continue.
Larger YouTubers using that influence when they don't get the result they want, they don't get to just demand YouTube around like the bullies they are, and YouTube gives in, then they start painting everybody as a conspiracy theorist, a sympathizer towards hatred, and labeling me as hate.
Here's another point that I would like to make. Quantum TV is going to make himself look like the victim, even though he is not. You want to know what got this man triggered to begin with? Alright, let's go there. What got this man, well, he did insult the act man by calling him an act boy, so what Quantum Boy did here, and yes, I did call him a boy because it's boy behavior, not man behavior. I'm pretty sure Quantum knows that statement because he used it. He cannot say that he did not. Well, he could, and then I could debunk him. But what Quantum Boy has done here is he's a silver-tongued devil, meaning he's very good, he's a very eloquent speaker. He can make you believe what he says and not have you second guess him. He's almost like a cult leader in that regard, where the cult leader tells the followers what to do, and the followers don't follow it without any regard to their thinking. And that is because the occultist, let's just take Jim Jones for example. Okay, that's because Jim Jones was able to brainwash essentially his followers. That is why the adults gave the children the quote unquote medicine, which just turned out to be poisoned Kool-Aid, basically. That's where we get the phrase, don't drink the Kool-Aid. And that's how the People's Temple went out. Quantum TV has done this to his audience. He has made it to where his followers, to where his audience believes everything he says, and they don't second guess it at all. They just run with it, which is also very dangerous. I'm not comparing Quantum TV to Jim Jones at all, because when you look into Jim Jones, you'll find out that Jim Jones was, well, a very twisted man. I'm not calling Quantum a very twisted man. I'm just saying that in regards to his audience, he has everyone in his audience believing him. I don't see how.
The fact is,
why are there ads on this video?
this is happening because they don't like me and they want me removed off the platform.
It's not just them. You see, I've never seen this on YouTube. In my, let's see, I started in 16, it's 2022, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. In my 6 years of being on the platform as a content creator, everybody hates this guy. Everybody hates this guy. And with good reason. So it's just not them. Actually, no, I take that back. Rich from Review Tech USA doesn't hate Quantum. He has no reason to hate Quantum. The only thing that he doesn't like about Quantum is what he's done. Same thing with Actman. Actman doesn't hate Quantum. He just doesn't like what Quantum has done. There is a difference between not liking someone and not liking the actions of someone.
And we're going to talk about all of this. I don't care what side of the argument you sit on, but there is something that...
Here's the thing. Notice what he said there. I don't care what side... I don't care what side you sit on. So it's either his side or everyone else's side. Here's the issue. And you'll see this as the video goes on. He does care. He does care about what side you're on. So let's continue.
It has to change here because now it is spilling over into real world conduct of hatred and to malice that can lead to even worse. So I am here to try to clear up some of these fallacies. So please try to listen up.
What's a I know what a fallacy is, but what are the fallacies that you are going to try and debunk?
Unbiasedly, as again, I'm just trying to set the record straight for anyone willing to actually listen to the facts.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Well, I say we just dive in.
I feel like I've lost more than 10 brain cells. And we're only a minute and 34 in. Let's continue. I am going to be commenting on every single point that he makes. And I will more than likely be debunking everything that he says.
Act Boy has created a lynch mob.
No. No, no, no. You see, this is another thing about Quantum. He likes to say that Act Boy, which okay, Quantum Boy. Quantum Boy, go sit in the corner and think about what you've got. Okay. What Quantum has done here is not only disrespectful, but the Act Man is a man, first off, and he likes to call Act Man a boy because he says it's boy behavior that Act Man is involving himself in. You called the dude... Quantum doesn't seem to understand this. When you call somebody's mother, there's going to be repercussions. And one of those repercussions is the guy that said he was done and moving on can't move on now. And he has to come back. It's a circle. Like I said in my earlier video,
it's not my choice. It's her choice.
I thought Quantum TV was done. So why does he feel like he has to set the record straight? So let's continue on to his first point.
I never ban-evaded. I never...
Yes, you did.
...doxed anyone.
Then how would you have gotten the Act Man's mother's phone number? That's a landline, which I can say it's a landline because you said in the recording of the phone call, which we only had your side of, you said, oh, so this is a landline or something?
Not a homophobe.
You have wished death upon the gay community and on numerous occasions. Now, I can't show you the tweets because, well, Quantum TV has deleted his Twitter along with all his other social medias. Why would you do that if you're innocent?
I mean, what more can I really say?
What more can you really say? I haven't heard the 3 words I want to hear, and that is, I was wrong. That's what you can say. Let's see if he says it.
YouTube, the beautiful thing about this, is a platform that has their own policies, and the ultimate authority.
But every website has their own policies. I mean, take Twitch, for example. Twitch has their own policies, and YouTube has their own policies. The difference in this situation is Quantum TV has broken TOS multiple times. That meaning terms of service. Has broken the various rules on YouTube, and he's still somehow allowed to be on this platform. But yet you have someone like the Act-Man who hasn't broken TOS to my knowledge, who hasn't broken the rules of YouTube to my knowledge, and he gets fully demonetized because of satire. For jokes. Alright, let's continue.
Has come out and told him, I didn't do any of this stuff. Now,
okay, another thing. Sorry, I'm in the bathroom right now. And you gotta go. You gotta go. There's a reason why YouTube came back and said that you didn't do anything wrong, and it's not because you're innocent. It's not because Quantum is innocent. He's going to, he'll twist the narrative, right? Believe me, in my 25 years of life, I've tried to spin the narrative. And you want to know what I found out? It doesn't work very well. Because even when I spun the narrative came back pointing at me because I was at fault. And I refused to admit it.
Can Dove stop 98% of daily hair damage? Sandra treats one lock of hair with Dove. Glowing areas represent hair damage.
He can spin the narrative every which way he wants. And as long as there are people that are not going to second guess him, it's going to work. But me, I question everything about Quantum TV. I question his integrity. I question his honesty. And I question whether or not he has a set to admit to when he was wrong. Okay, let's continue.
That's not good enough for him, and he didn't get his way. So he then tries to come up with other stuff.
Oh, I don't think I finished my thought. Well, if I didn't, I'm gonna go back to it now. But the reason why YouTube said that Quantum didn't do anything wrong is because Quantum deleted all the evidence. You see, here's the thing. Quantum knows what he's done. He's never going to confess it. He's never going to come out openly and say that he did something wrong or that he's at fault. Me? I'm an open book. You want to know something that happened 4 years ago? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I did 4 years ago. I'll tell you what I did a decade ago. It doesn't bother me. Why? Well, the thing that happened 4 years ago, it still bothers me. But, you know, but that's for a completely different reason. But, you see, the best way I can explain this is quantum TV is wrong. Everyone knows it except for him. That is what you call a narcissist. Let's continue.
Other talking points, but the fact is, I never doxed anyone, and there will never be any.
You would have had to have doxed. To get the act man's mother's number, you would have had to have doxed it. You would have had to have gotten that information somehow, some way, and not every single thing, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is on public record.
Proof or any evidence of it happening. And anyone who asks for proof or evidence of what I said or where I said it, where did I release this this personal information of his, everyone who asks where and to link specifically where I'm doxing the.
Well, yeah, people are going to ask that because it's very odd that you would call the act mom. It would be very odd for you to do that and not get her information somehow. I mean, not only is that weird, that's just straight up stalkerish.
Man is immediately a conspiracy theorist just trying to take my side, a quantum TV sympathizer.
No. You're making yourself out to be the victim. But you see, to make an anime reference here, you're Seto Kaiba and I'm Yugi Moto in the first duel that they had. You summon your third blue eyes, you put me under Swords of Revealing Light, and I draw all 5 pieces of Exodia and obliterate you from reality. Then when you are done and you're questioning why you lost, I will do what a Tim did to Kaiba and open your mind. I'm gonna guess that Quantum is a very closed off individual. Let's continue.
They're siding with hate, and it's all of this bullshit because he's not getting his way from these people. And
he's not mad at YouTube that YouTube didn't do the right thing and terminate Quantum. He got upset, especially when Quantum called the Act Man's mom. And that's when the Act Man made a tweet that said, "I can confirm that Quantum called my mother and that if we see you, Quantum, we shoot on sight. What do you think was going to happen? I don't see a peaceful resolution here.
And it's quite simply, they're not joining his mob. Now, one of the talking points...
But it's not a mob. You see, here's the thing about this. Lynch mob. Well, first off, what is lynching? A lynch mob, especially back in the day, was a mob that would hang somebody. Kill them by death of hanging. That is what that's what a lynching mob is. This isn't a lynching mob, and I don't understand where he's getting this from.
They've been trying to cancel me with for the longest time.
It's not canceled. You're not canceled. By every right, you should be, but you're not.
I'm saying that I'm some homophobic. You guys, the whole spiel that they...
When you wish death upon the gay community, what do you expect is going to happen? People are not going to be... do you really think that people are going to be like, you're the man for saying that? No. I mean, I imagine that there are going to be those that do say that, but to those people, I would ask, what kind of drugs are you on? Here's the thing, and I know I keep on using that phrase a lot. All right. Let's... I forgot what I was going to say. This is embarrassing, especially when it happens in a recorded video. Maybe if I go back a little bit.
He's not getting his way from these people. And it's quite simply, they're not joining his mob. Now, one of the talking points they've been trying to cancel me with for the long...
Oh, yes. This isn't cancel culture. No one is trying to cancel Quantum. Everybody that was making videos on Quantum was making him take responsibility for his actions, which he's never done. Let's continue.
Longest time is saying that I'm some homophobic. You guys, the whole spiel.
Oh yes. So I remember what I was going to say now. But there are going to be the majority of people that are going to be like, what is wrong with you?
They push out. Let me just kind of put this out there. It'd be very hard to be a vegan like I am and be homophobic.
What? Hold on. My mind is buffering. Oh, my mind is buffering now. At last, all too well, I can see what veganism has to do with homophobicism. Doesn't go very well. What This doesn't compute in any way, shape, or form. What does being a vegan have to do with being a homophobe?
Vegan literally can't be homophobic.
Yes, you can. You can also be black and be racist against your own race.
If I'm so homophobic, why would I support their businesses?
You're going to work remote. Find new workspaces. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Push out. Let me just kind of put this out there. It'd be very hard to be a vegan like I am and be homophobic. A vegan literally can't be homophobic.
A vegan can't be homophobic. Do tell.
If I'm so homophobic, why would I support their businesses?
Michelin keeps innovating so the world can move in better ways.
You all heard the exact same thing I heard, right? So, apparently, vegans, it's impossible for them to be homophobic. Why would you support... Why would you support... Okay. My mind, it can't make sense of what he just said. Maybe if I go back again, I will understand.
Push out. Let me just kind of put this out there. It'd be very hard to be a vegan like I am and be homophobic. A vegan literally can't be homophobic. If I'm so homophobic, why would I support their businesses?
But a vegan can be homophobic. Just because you walk in to a business that is owned by a gay couple doesn't mean you're not homophobic. You still can be. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But they don't care about logic. They just...
But that's not logical. It's not logical to say that just because I'm a vegan, I can't be homophobic. It's impossible for a vegan to be homophobic, and the reason why is because I support gay business. A lot of people support gay businesses. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if a lot of those same people don't like gays. So that's not logical. It's illogical, if anything.
Want to lie, frankly. Now let's be very real. Let's talk about why they're saying this. 5 years ago, I was hacked. Yeah, let's say that again. 5 years ago.
Okay, 5 years ago you were hacked. What'd you do about it?
I was hacked, okay? It was nasty, okay? But here's the bigger picture that nobody understands. Everybody asks, why were those tweets left up for so long? Let's be real, okay? My PlayStation, Xbox, emails, all this shit got hacked, okay? My priority was not Twitter. As big...
Your priority wasn't Twitter, but it was everything else. I find it hard to believe that 5 years ago you were hacked. And then once you got done with the hacking situation, once you actually got back in to all of your social media accounts, you didn't do anything to say, hey guys, you know, this weekend I got hacked, or this week I got hacked. So if you got a message from me, or you got a tweet from me, don't open it. Or if you got a direct message from me via Twitter, don't open it. Because it's not me. He didn't do that. He didn't do that whatsoever. And I can almost guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that.
As shock as that may be for some people, my priority was never Twitter. Because think about it. My Twitter got hacked. I got the fucking account back. Great.
Okay, you got the account back, but but once you got it back, you did nothing. You did nothing to disavow said hack, which would point us in the direction that you were never hacked to begin with, and that this is all a lie that you have concocted to make yourself look like a victim.
I'm moving on to more important stuff like my PlayStation that has my payment information. Hello, actual money, okay?
Oh, boo-hoo. And the reason why I say that is you can freeze your payment information. You can freeze the card to where even if you are hacked, they're not going to be able to get any money because the account is frozen.
I'm trying to focus on other shit that's like more important, like, I don't know, my email that has all of my main shit for my business on it, okay? Which, by the way, still to this day, one of those main email accounts, still I've never gotten back. I have issued...
That's because you've never tried hard enough.
So many complaints to Yahoo, called them so many times, and they told me, yeah, unfortunately, we can't let you back in your account unless you remember the password from all those years ago when I set it up.
I'm Eric. You might know me from YouTube, where I went from 0 to 1 million subscribers in a year. What's crazy is that I started...
Don't care.
Problem is, that was one of my OG emails.
You don't write down your passwords? I mean, to be perfectly honest here, I don't remember my Facebook password. But that's because, well, I'm always logged into it, and I never log out of it. So I just forget about it over time. You do know that you can just create a new email account. It's not that hard.
Emails that I had from like fucking middle school, and I just kept it as an adult. So that kind of stuff bites you in the ass. And so I've still been fighting.
No, it doesn't. It honestly doesn't. If you can't remember the password, you can always go to forgot password, which, why would you be using Yahoo anyway?
This is nothing new, okay? And this concept that I was targeted because I did TV reviews that people disagreed with. Back then, I'll tell you what it was. It was the LG C7. I didn't like the C7, and I didn't like Xbox. And those two communities ganged up on me.
Wait, what? Hold on. You didn't like a certain TV, and you didn't like a certain game console, and that's why you got hacked? I find that very hard to believe.
Big fucking surprise. This is now, again, a theme. Xbox gamers and Elden Ring gamers coming together and attacking me. People...
Here we go again. You see what I talk about? You see what I'm talking about when I say that Quantum TV just talks in circles? He's literally made this point thousands upon thousands of times, and he comes back to it every single time. It's almost like watching Forrest Gump over and over and over and over again. And even though it's a classic, you already know that Bubba's gonna get shot. And you know, no matter how many times you watch that scene, he's still gonna get shot, and it's not going to change. Quantum hasn't changed. He's still the same guy that he was all those years ago, and yet no one believes it. Do you really think that people care whether you like a TV or whether you don't, whether you like a game console or you don't? Seriously. This is how this dude thinks.
And communities that band together don't like me and they attack me.
They don't attack you. People just call you out on your bad takes and you don't like it. There's a difference. You're a public figure. I'm a public figure. I Earthling, Anton Masters, Review Tech USA, Casual. A lot of my subscribers, well, not a lot of my subscribers, but a lot of actually all the channels that I'm subscribed to are public figures. If you can't handle the spotlight, then fade off into existence. Fade off. And I know that's going to sound harsh, but if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You obviously can't stand the heat.
Tech USA had an impersonation account on his channel as a moderator for the longest time.
He still does. And you want to know why? It's because it's funny.
I'm confusing everybody and knew about it, okay? The people that don't like me have this weird habit of wanting to be me and make me look.
I don't want to be you. I honestly, wholeheartedly.
That was your only job.
I set those down when I came in.
Now we're getting somewhere. Where'd you do that?
Don't want to be Quantum TV. I want to be me. I want to be Hardcore Christopher. I want to be Christopher Delbox. I don't want to be someone else. I didn't get to where I am by being something that I'm not. So I don't want to impersonate.
Look like I'm saying things that I'm not saying. Their goal is not to hack my accounts, to delete the accounts. It's to take it over and pose as me.
But this is the only Quantum TV.
Hey, you're John Dutton, aren't you?
You're the real Quantum TV. And you know they're impersonation accounts. That's the thing.
You don't believe me? There's a guy literally that took my old Twitter handle. He took my old Twitter handle and started making a channel. My profile picture's still up there, and he's still saying things, and that actually still confuses some.
That is true, but I looked at that account, and it says, I'm not the real Quantum. I just took his old account and started messing with it.
people to this day. Okay, I can't tell you how many people can just take a profile picture and take my name, because they're allowed to name their channel whatever they want.
And I can't tell you how easy it is to modify a tweet. It's very easy.
Impersonate me and say whatever they want to say. It happens. And I'm sorry to say, I'm more concerned about my finances being compromised, my bank accounts, all this stuff being compromised because somebody got in my email and all this other shit. My business actually...
Freeze your bank account. I also find it hard to believe that that everything was hacked all at once. Let's continue.
Going into some dangerous territory, because that's the priority. Okay, like, and the thing is, all of this is not even public business. This isn't anyone's business, right? Nobody needs to know this, but they try to make it a bigger deal than it is, and they try to say, well, you left those tweets, so clearly you care. Twitter was not a priority.
You say Twitter wasn't a priority, but you could have at least made a priority to disavow the tweet once you got back into your account, which you did not do.
And it just so happened, by the way, for everybody thinking I deleted it while Review Tech USA was streaming, like
he did. He absolutely 100% did. Rich was streaming all the bad things that Quantum TV was saying, and Rich refreshed and got the message that this account was no longer active, or no longer I think it was like, I don't know how Twitter words things like this.
Like to lie and say Tipster was the first person I saw streaming it, and I only...
But you deleted it in real time. Rich was showing everything in real time, so when he refreshed and your Twitter was no longer available, you deleted it as soon as you heard about it.
Deleted it while I was seeing Tipster stream, okay? Because I didn't know it was there. And I don't social media, people, okay? I don't care about this shit. So I'm sitting here watching Tipster.
You say you don't care about this, but you clearly do.
Try to frame me and say, look at all this crazy shit you wrote in 28.
Frame you? Dude, that was up ever since 2018. You knew you had 5 years to say something or do something about that, and you didn't. So what is that? What is that leading us to believe? That you were never hacked.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Seriously? And I go in and I delete it because I don't even know that there is a backlog. I've said this a million.
I'll get to Hardcore Wrestling 101 in a minute. Well, as soon as I get done recording, that is.
I believe in America. America has made my fortune.
I find it very hard to believe that Quantum would not know about a backlog, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows that there's a backlog for Twitter.
And one times, and the funny thing is, I've disavowed it, because when heinous things are posted, you get rid of...
You didn't disavow anything. The only time you disavowed the the tweets was like 2 days ago when you made this video.
Heinous things, period. Otherwise, it's the same as agreeing with it. I got rid of it. And now, because I got rid of it, they're like, oh, see, he's guilty. I really don't care that you don't like that people don't like me.
Hold on. Hold the phone. Which, I will admit, I'm holding my phone right now, so that is kind of ironic that I just said that. No, the reason why people are saying that you are guilty is because you are.
And they say nasty shit about me. But what I do care is when you blatantly tell lies, like he's homophobic and he wants all gay people shot and killed, that's now you.
You said that. You said that, how'd the tweet go? Trying to remember. He said that he made a tweet about The Last of Us that there was a picture of two women kissing in a church. He went on to say that, and I'm just going to paraphrase here, that he was tired of them forcing their lifestyle on us, and that they should know better. Well, then he went as far as to say, too bad you weren't a Pulse victim in regards to a shoot-up that happened in a gay nightclub.
Creating hate speech. You've done that. I've never said that on any level. And
I just proved that you did, so yes, it is with your deleted Twitter account, but you still said it.
The fact that you're now going with that, because let's be real, I've read that tweet, and that tweet doesn't even say that all gay people should be attacked or harmed. It never says anything like that. I'm not agreeing with that.
You wish death upon them. What? It doesn't matter that it doesn't matter whether you said all gays should be, all of them should be harmed, or some of them should be harmed, or this one thing or this one person should be harmed. You still said it. You still tweeted it out. You also that was your doubling down.
In this tweet, but what I am saying is not even the tweet that you're using to paint that picture or create that narrative says that. So you're clearly doing this because you hate me, and it's clearly
no one hates you.
Agenda based. I mean, with this whole Act Man situation, are we really listening to a guy who has used the F word with no apology outside of some disingenuous?
Wait, which F word are you are you referring to? Are you referring to the actual F word that we were taught as kids never to say? Or are you talking about the F word that is, okay, I'm just going to use the words. Are you talking about the F word that we were taught as kids not to use, or are you talking about fag and faggot? And faggot. You say F word, what F word are you referring to? And last time I checked, fag and faggot are not cuss words. They are very demeaning and very disrespectful, but they are not cuss words in any way, shape, or form.
Crap. Because if you look at his recent interviews where they say, and you don't still talk like that with your friends today, and he's like, hesitancy. Why? Because he still feels these things. He still says these homophobic slurs that he's so outraged over. Are we really listening to the guy who uses the N-word with the hard R and then says that...
Okay. This is something that somebody's going to have to explain to me. What's the difference between the N-word, the one with the ER, and the one with the A? Because you hear it everywhere. Not the ER as much, but the one with the A, yeah. You hear? I know I heard it a lot.
There are worse words he could say and that could be said. This isn't somebody who is some crazy victim social justice warrior that's just being unjustly handled by some menace and YouTube siding with hate. This is a guy that has a pattern of behavior, literally.
You have a pattern of behavior, I have a pattern of behavior, we all have a pattern of behavior.
Proven, he's apologized for it, fine, but still feels that way because when you watch him...
Okay, feeling... Okay, I'm gonna say this, and this may not make any sense, but, feeling something and actually saying it are two completely different things.
Candidly speak in interviews. He shows himself and tells on himself. You guys have parents that ever told you that? Like, you know you told on yourself, right? He does that all the time when he speaks. Are we really going to listen to the guy that cares?
No. My mom never told me that I told on myself because I usually would tell on myself anyway. My mom's favorite sayings were, she had 3 sayings, and she's still alive. One was, I have eyes in the back of my head. This week's not stupid week, and next week's not looking any better. And I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. There were a lot of other sayings my mom used, like when me and my sisters were younger, we would always go, Mom, 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 and she would go, Mom died and changed her name. But let's continue on.
He hates ban evading so much. Meanwhile, YouTube, again, ultimate authority about their terms of service and their platform, tells you I'm not violating terms of service.
But you are. You just deleted the evidence that you were no longer... You see, the thing is, the videos that would prove that he was violating TOS, he deletes. Because he knows that if those would become uncovered, he would get slapped. And he would get slapped very hard by YouTube. And rightfully so.
Including ban evading, which is a part of TOS, right? He brought it to them. They said no. He couldn't take it. So what does he do? He runs to Keemstar, who's been ban evading since 2013. Oh, let me tell you. He cares so much about ban evading. Are we really listening to the guy who was told Let me say that again. Who was told that I'm receiving racist death threats, black people hanging from trees, all...
I watched that video of yours, and you have no proof whatsoever that Actman's Actman's community base were the ones sending you those emails. So you have nothing to base that on.
All the kind of crazy shit you would hear about, like, seemingly from, like, the 1950s back in that time period, right? Like, straight up, okay? Was told about it. Doesn't disavow it once, and instead of disavowing it, or...
Well, in all honesty, Actman has told people on multiple occasions, and so did Rich, don't harass this guy. That's what they did. They said multiple times, do not harass this individual. It's not cool, and I don't condone it. That's what they did.
Telling his fans, don't do racist things like this. This isn't how we get it done. He then goes on Discord, and he creates, wait for it, the ACT clan.
You need the right marketer. Like one who can optimize this, balance that, launch the.
Nope.
That's a Discord server name. What does that have to do with anything?
Knows about the racism, makes a clan.
Oh, God. He's comparing a Discord name to the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. And the ACT clan is just a name for a Discord server. Meanwhile, the Ku Klux Klan was an actual clan that was very white supremacist and did a lot of terrible things, especially to black people. But I do not see how this is completely illogical thinking. This is completely illogical. Now that I think about it, the ACT clan and the Ku Klux Klan, they don't have any correlation to each other.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Now, people can say I'm reaching all they want, but that's a little...
You are reaching, and you are stretching out your arms like Stretch Armstrong. You're reaching that hard.
Convenient. You have a black guy telling you that in your honor you have your fans attacking him with racism. And you make a clan after, by the way, all this...
What does your skin color have to do with this? Yes, I understand that the Ku Klux Klan, while they were heads of everything, they were heads that, well, they were on the school board, they were on they were deacons of churches and everything. That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. But the Act Man just created a Discord server called the Act Clan, which I will admit is a very catchy name. It's just a way for him and his community to interact with each other. But yet you're making it out like they're putting on sheets in the middle of the night and they're writing and they're like they're lighting crucifixes and in your front yard or something. But it's just a Discord server name. That's all it is. You're reaching very much.
Happened after the fact. I would get it if it was before. Maybe you can make an argument, right? That, oh, it's not like that. He made it after. He made it after the fact. Are we really going to believe the guy who got himself demonetized for threatening to dox YouTube family members and employees?
You're bringing up the sarcastic tweets. You're bringing up the joke tweets. There were a string of 3 or 4 made, and the third one, which he is referring to, Actman did say on Philip Tellerico's no, it's Philip DeMarco, I think. Yeah, I think it's Philip DeMarco. Anyway, he's an OG YouTuber. He said that those were a joke. Actman said even though he went too far on the third one, he was extremely upset. And basically all that tweet was referring to is since his family was doxxed and YouTube did nothing about it, he just said, I'm going to dox YouTube family members because that's perfectly fine. That's obviously perfectly fine with YouTube now. It was a joke.
After YouTube was the victim of gun violence, like that whole chapter never happened, like that wasn't a bad idea. And then later goes on to admit on the Phil DeFranco show that at the time he wrote those tweets, he was angry and frustrated.
Yeah, Phil DeFranco. I imagine he was very angry and very frustrated because nothing was happening. YouTube was dragging their feet, it seemed.
Frustrated with YouTube, but then wants to then pretend like they were satirical? Are we really going to...
That's because they were. And YouTube just took it out of context.
...believe the guy that literally after knowing that he got himself demonetized, went on the Phil DeFranco show and, first he went on Twitter and he claimed that he didn't, it was Quantum TV. Quantum TV's false flagging my videos.
Which he tweeted out a picture a couple of days later saying that after thinking about it, I don't think Quantum had anything to do with my latest video being taken down. That's what he said.
Right, plays dumb. Entirely dumb. The whole
no. He wasn't playing dumb. He just got caught up in the heat of the moment. There is a difference.
Situation. Weaponizing people, turning them against me, much like he's doing with this entire situation to make everyone hate me, okay?
Nobody's weaponizing anybody against you. You did that to yourself.
Goes and says that, okay? Plays dumb, goes on the Phil DeFranco show. Phil DeFranco, you couldn't help but ask him why he didn't reveal it. And then he gives some bullshit excuse. I didn't know.
he said the reason why he didn't reveal it is because he didn't want to get his YouTube partner in the crosshairs, which I completely understand because, well, it's kind of no one's business besides Ackman and his partner and his YouTube partner at the time. That's what happened.
For what I should be revealing, it wasn't to mislead anyone. When his first thing he wrote was Quantum TV is false flagging all of my videos or some shit like that.
You don't even know what he tweeted. Okay, let me use something that you said earlier. Quantum said that Actman has a pattern of behavior. You look at the pattern of behavior with Quantum, and you will find that if anyone says anything wrong about Quantum, Quantum is quick to react. But with his quick reaction, he's not quick to think. He's quick to react, but he doesn't put any thought into his reaction. Pattern of behavior. He has a pattern of behavior all his own, so it is perfectly logical on the Actman's part, who was already upset and frustrated and just trying to figure out what was going on, that it would make sense that Quantum would take down the dark age of YouTube. That's what happened.
He literally framed me.
He didn't frame you.
For something he knew at the time. YouTube communicated the reason as to why he was demonetized. And this is the guy we're going to believe. Is this?
Okay. I guess it's time for me to say this. Phil DeFranco, said during his interview with Actman that he was able to reach out to YouTube. YouTube did confirm that that Actman's demonetization and his video being taken down were for two separate occasions. Yes, the dark age of YouTube was taken down because of sexualized/nudity, which the only thing that could be said about that is badly photoshopped cucumber. And his demonetization was because of the satirical tweet.
Victim justice for Actman? But then we got Review Tech USA creating another mob against me off of things, but
not a mob. Not a mob at all.
You know, ask him about that troll he had that got under his skin. Ask him why his first gut instinct as a grown, rusty man, his first instinct was to dig deep and say the first thing that comes to mind, and it was hard F-bomb, the homophobic slur.
You are... Oh. You're bringing up stuff from a decade ago, man. Rich was a completely different person back then. But he did apologize several hours afterward. I think it was like an hour afterward, or maybe several minutes afterwards. He apologized for it.
Review Tech USA about his allegations, if you can call it that, of stealing $200 from his black friend. And
what are you talking about?
How it was only until people were in an uproar about this whole big cheese thing, you know, the big cheese crusaders. Yeah.
It was a joke that didn't even last more than a day.
That he decided to pay him back. But he tried to screw somebody out of money on the platform. That's literally scamming. That violates TOS. And let's talk about how he has allegedly, gone down this whole sexual assault thing. Now, I personally heard audio on some video about him literally talking about some instance of him fondling some girl's breasts, and then she wanted it, and so he was all right with it. They were in some
What you're talking about is a troll paid an actress on Fiverr to literally read a script. And the troll confirmed it. What a world we live in.
Somewhere, some weird shit, and it was weird. It was very weird, and he's feeling her up, and then she tells him he can stop, and he's like, okay, what is that? I don't know about you, but that whole story smells a little fishy to me. I don't know.
That's because the story never happened. Yes, the script was read out loud by an actress that was paid for the service. And the troll confirmed it. It never happened like he said, like Quantum is saying that it happened here.
Anything about it, but I can tell you right now, at the very least, it seems like he has a problem with his behavior and people telling him, not.
But he's apologized for all of his behavior.
Exactly feeling you on that. And every time he gets himself into trouble, it's a lot like the Act Man. Points fingers at people, makes excuses.
To my knowledge, the Act Man nor Rich have done such a thing. Again, to my knowledge.
Complains. You see what he's doing now? Corruption at YouTube. Quantum TV sympathizers.
That's because the whole thing with this situation, it seems off. And I agree, it does. And I wouldn't be shocked to find out if there was corruption at YouTube, because there's corruption everywhere.
Is inciting language for a reason. Let's ask Review Tech USA. He cares so much about doxing, then why did he dox the 316 killer, not an actual killer?
316 killer. First off, Rich never doxed the 316 killer. What happened was that somebody took a tweet, modified said tweet, and the tweet then said, I think it was Rich. I don't know how the tweet went. I never actually saw it, but that's what happened.
By the way, that's a YouTuber that had his state released, his name released, and a bunch of other personal information because...
But Rich never doxed him. Well, Rich never doxed them. Let me be perfectly clear. I don't know if the 316 killer is a he or a she. But Rich never doxed anyone.
Because Rich didn't like him. It's out there. That video is out there. He doxed that man so badly that the guy had to get off of YouTube. Because people were...
Never happened. Again, somebody altered a tweet, which is very easy to do.
Coming after him and his family and all that kind of stuff from what I hear. I did, for a fact, hear the 316 killer show a video. I saw the video of him literally having been doxed by Rich after making Twitter posts about how he was going to dox him on the platform.
That never happened. Again, somebody got a hold of a tweet, altered said tweet. This guy's reaching so hard, and he's not even speaking or thinking logically.
Cross-platform harassment. That's how these YouTubers work, right? Let's ask him again why he doubles down on defending Vosh. Saying things like, I'm a fan of Vosh, you deal with it. When my chief complaint is that Vosh says the age of consent should be lowered for children, says things like child pornography should be legal, and I'm somehow some horrible human being based off of hearing those things come out of Vosh's mouth, Review Tech USA defending those things, and saying, well, you're a pedophile. I mean, what else could I do?
It's baseless. It's baseless. It has no substance. It's frivolous to say just because you're a fan of somebody means you're a pedophile. Does anyone else see the issue here? Just because you're a fan of someone, okay. I'm gonna jump into something wrestling related here, but it goes hand in hand with this situation. I like Chris Benoit. I'm a fan of Chris Benoit. And I'll defend Chris Benoit's wrestling ability. So does that mean that if I'm a fan of Chris Benoit, that I'm a family murderer and I committed suicide? No. In fact, I will tell people to this day that while I am a fan of Chris Benoit's wrestling ability, I do not approve of what he did. Rich is a fan of Vosh. Doesn't mean he agrees or condones with Vosh. There's a difference.
Wants the age of consent lowered, this Vosh guy. He wants child pornography to be legal. He thinks people who watch child pornography shouldn't be held accountable in that kind of stuff. If we have slave labor that harvests our silicone in our computers and shit like that, and all these outlandish takes. And he's even got tweets saying things like this. And apparently, Review Tech USA can just hop up and be like, it was an edgy take. Why is it Actman, Mischief, Review Tech USA, all these kind of creators can just say it was an edgy take, and no matter the context of what they're saying, it's okay? He is defending a man that is saying child pornography should be legal. As an adult, what would you call that? I don't know what...
Time for a little self-care? Tap into this collection of supportive stories and...
What else you call that. That's not.
Well, to be honest, I would call that messed up. But I wouldn't go as far as to say Rich is a pedophile just for liking someone, just for being a fan of Vosh. I wouldn't say that in the slightest. He's reaching, and he's reaching so hard. I'm starting to wonder how can he stretch more than Stretch Armstrong?
Decent behavior, you don't do that. I mean, I draw the line at harming children. Period. So he can be mad all day, every day. He's up here calling me a pedophile, so I will join this cancel campaign. You defended a guy that said child pornography.
It's not a cancel campaign. I don't know where you're getting this from. It's not a cancel campaign. In the beginning, no one wanted to see you get canceled.
Pornography should be legal. What am I supposed to call you? A map? What?
You're not supposed to call somebody a pedophile just because they like somebody that thinks that... Here's the thing. Alright. I'm going to try to explain this. Just because Vosh says that he thinks the age of consent should be lowered and that he thinks child pornography should be legal and that people that are into said child pornography are into that sort of stuff and they shouldn't have any repercussions, while that is very messed up on Vosh's part, Quantum crossed the line when he said that Rich from Review Tech USA is a pedophile, because that's a very bold and very harsh claim to make. You are labeling someone without any proof. Let's continue.
What mental gymnastics could you jump through? You're talking about targeting children, man. That's
all Rich said is that he was a fan of Vosh and that everyone should deal with it.
That's what it's about. Emotions.
Rich never said that he agreed with Vosh, that he condoned what Vosh said, that Vosh was right. He never said that. All he said is that he was a fan of Vosh. So you go from Rich being a fan of Vosh to Rich is a child predator. Again, we have a do not compute. This doesn't compute at all.
Run deep when you talk about that kind of thing, okay? People who actually have families, man. You're Mr. Father of Three, and he's out here calling me that. If you're a father of three, you should understand that you should never be a fan of Vosh, who says that child pornography should be legal and the age of consent should be lower, but you didn't. Which kind of makes me wonder about you. YouTube, let me say this again for anybody watching.
There are a lot of jump cuts in this video.
Thinking like all I'm saying is just total bullshit. YouTube investigated these claims and they have confirmed that I haven't broken terms of service and I've never copyright abused anyone. That is in writing and it was delivered to the Act Man. This entire situation should have been over months ago.
Oh, my friend. Let's talk about this situation, shall we? Let's be cordial. That's in writing. You're right. It's absolutely in writing that you did nothing wrong and that you didn't abuse the system. You're absolutely right. That's in writing. Here's where you fall flat on your face, though. Where you fall flat is you tried to take down Ackman's worst Elden Ring hot takes video. Then afterwards, once your claim was rejected because YouTube said, nah, it's fair use, guess what? You were talking to a YouTube support agent, and you had the nerve, you had the gall, you had the chutzpah to say that because of YouTube's advice, I am now being labeled as a copyright abuser. And the YouTube support agent just said, can't help you with that. Just paraphrasing him. Let's continue.
But they keep bringing it up and keep talking about it, saying things like the monetization is good, and I have to talk about it. We need to take a stand against creators like this on the platform. Even though YouTube themselves put it in writing, I never broke TOS, and I'm not a...
And that's because everything that would have went against TOS, you deleted. That's why I'm going to say that YouTube probably more than likely had poor investigation skills. Because here's the thing, even though you delete something from the internet, it is not gone forever. It's actually the exact opposite. Even when you delete the video, or delete a Facebook post, or delete a tweet, it is on the internet forever, even after you delete it.
Copyright abuser. Those were fair requests for review. It is a constant thing of him now trying to say that I'm doing all of this extra stuff, more accusations, even though he has his answer. This is done by people who are literally everything they accuse me of being, and they are going on to Twitter, roping people in who don't know any better, half of them.
And you're still doing the same exact thing. There's no reason for you to set the record straight. There's no reason for Look, he's right. YouTube rendered their verdict. It was the wrong verdict, I feel, and many people feel that it was the wrong verdict by YouTube, but YouTube still rendered their verdict, and their verdict said that Quantum TV is innocent. Okay, fine, whatever. My problem is he can't let this go. And you can tell how far he's reaching. You can also tell how illogical he is.
Right? Genuinely saying, hey, talk about this situation. People come in, they share his take because they only reached out to him for some stupid-ass reason. Never reached out to me, they would have found all this out. But the problem is, that's just half of them. The other half are the instigators, the people that know about this stuff. And again, for anybody who's confused, all this started because I put in a DMCA claim against a creator who stole my video, uploaded...
It wasn't stealing, it was fair use. The creator he's talking about is Mischief. What sparked this whole thing was an Elden Ring review that was so bad that Mischief got a hold of it, transformed it. You see, this is what he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand fair use. No one... I'm going to say this, and I mean it. None of his 69,000 zombies, I'm gonna round up, know what fair use is. What I'm doing right now, is this fair use? I would say it is, because I'm commentating over it. I am giving you my thoughts, therefore it is a transformative work. So Mischief transformed it, making fun of Quantum, and it snowballed. It snowballed from there because Quantum commented on Mischief's video, giving him basically an essay, and it basically read that what you did was wrong. You stole my video, which it's kind of hard to steal a public video. Like, really? It's a public platform. This is completely illogical.
Large portions of it got picked up on the Content ID tool, and I reached out to him telling him to take it down. He took it down and then ran to a bunch of
He took it down, then 2 days later he re-uploaded it.
content creators saying, hey, he's false flagging me because Mischief was in a group with Actman and Asm Gold and a bunch of other creators.
I don't think so. Mischief said you were false flagging him because you were false flagging him. Number one. Number two, I don't think he even knew Actman and knew Review Tech USA and knew Asman Gold at the time. Remember, he only had about 9,000 members in his community, and because of Quantum, he has skyrocketed. Which is, I mean, I think he has like, I think he's in the millions now, which is completely funny to me. Because of this drama, Mischief has blown up. Meanwhile, Quantum TV just wallows in the void of obscurity.
And larger YouTubers, lucky him, I guess? I don't know. And that's how this whole thing...
Which, by the way, I'm not saying that 68.9 thousand subscribers is nothing to sneeze. It's nothing to sneeze at by any means. But there's a lot more people in Mischief's community than there is Quantum's community.
Started. Mischief ran at those larger creators after taking down his video, calling me a false flagger. The moment YouTube told Actman...
Oh, which, by the way, just had a thought. This probably would have never happened if you would have stayed in your lane and reviewed your TVs than to review a video game that you had no right reviewing. And what I mean by that is you more than likely didn't spend any time playing the game. That's all I have to say about that.
I wasn't false flagging. Those were fair requests for review. That dialogue should have ended because that is an undisputed fact at that point. YouTube created those...
But you flagged it. If it happened once, it would have been swept under the rug. But Quantum flagged multiple people, different people, multiple times. So he was abusing he was abusing the copyright system, which I can almost guarantee you he did not watch Mischief's video.
Policies. They created that copyright strike system. That's not legal proceedings, by the way. That's literally YouTube's version of it. They're telling you, like, hey, listen, this is how we handle copyright on our platform without the law being involved. And we look at things and we review things. And when somebody puts in a DMCA claim, it's a fair request for us to review the content to see if we agree with that. If you don't agree with our take on that, you can go to court and then give us a court order through YouTube Legal to have the content removed. So all of this concept of me being a copyright abuser, penalty of perjury, nobody went to court, okay? That is a lie.
But every time you fill out a DMCA form, there are 3 boxes you have to check. And one of those boxes you have to check does say, I'm gonna paraphrase here, you know that the information that you are about to give you can be looking for the right word. You can be charged with perjury if it is found that you have done that you have put out false information. That's the best paraphrase I have for that. I mean, even when I have my review from the Social Security Administration, before we even start, they do say you understand that all the information you are about to give is recorded, will be recorded, and any misinformation that you give, you can be charged. You can be charged with perjury. Perjury means, well, you lied.
Another lie is that I'm just bullying and attacking some.
New Densify from Crest Pro Health. Like your bones, your teeth lose density over time. Crest Densify works to fill.
Minor. He tries to throw out the minor policy, talking about endangerment of a child and all this crazy stuff, because I flagged a video that came up on the copyright ID tool. This is dumb.
You were bullying Mischief. There, I said it.
Out of hatred because I use the tools that a content creator has to protect.
You should have at least watched the video before flagging it. You probably just saw it pop up on the copyright ID tool and just said, flag, flag, flag.
Themselves against creators who like to do what this commentary community likes to do. They call themselves a commentary community, but really it's the harassment community. They like to...
No. Commentary and harassment are 2 completely different things. Commentary is giving critiques and just giving your thoughts. Meanwhile, harassment is... well, everyone knows what harassment is. And everyone knows what commentary is. You're reaching.
Weaponize their influence, their fan base to ratio videos, dislike videos with all kinds of hate comments out the wazoo. They like to, again, share each other's takes and just dogpile videos on the search results just because it's fun for them. This is a problem on YouTube. And this has led to very real-world actions of people threatening to murder my family in very gruesome ways. Calling my actual landline, which is not public anywhere, not even on public records, which means these people are stalking to find that information. I've looked. My landline isn't public information. You can't find it anywhere, bro. We're not talking about anything but the fact that they are being spurred on by Review Tech USA and the...
No, they're not. No, they are not. They are not being spurred on by Review Tech USA, by Actman, by Mischief, by Asmongold. They're not being spurred on because every single creator has said this. Don't harass him.
Axeman, along with Asmongold, Mischief, and a bunch of creators talking about this, and all the people that don't know about this that are being brought in after.
That's because you keep on saying stupid stuff, and people are calling you out on your stupid stuff.
The fact they're being brought in on false merits. I'm not some hateful, crazy menace to the platform. If I was, you would have heard about me before now.
You are a menace. You're a menace like Dennis. Anyone that doesn't get that, Dennis the Menace was in, I think it started out as a comic strip, then it turned into its own television show.
Reason you're hearing about me after these creators have a problem with
Or was it a movie?
me is because these creators have a problem with me.
They have a problem with the way you go about things, just like I have a problem with the way you go about things. So yeah, there's a problem.
That's not a coincidence. That's just how
It is a coincidence.
it works. And the fact that they create all these talking points because they're offended and they're upset that they're not getting victories where they want them, and to
You're making it out to be like they're children, which they're not. That's like a 9-year-old running and going, "Mommy, little Timmy won't let me play with his fire truck." Like, what?
demanding YouTube and trying to bully YouTube into doing what they want and to do their bidding, and it's not working. Now they're bringing their hateful audience and their mob to come after somebody. And I implore YouTube and everyone who made it to this video, this far in the video, by the way, if you did make it this far in the video, thank you for actually listening to what I had to say, okay? But the fact is, all these creators are doing all of this because they just have a vendetta. It's personal for them.
It's not a vendetta. I mean, it is personal, but it's not a vendetta. I don't even think people realized who you were until your Elden Ring review. Until his Elden Ring review. Really. I don't think anybody knew who Quantum TV was. At least I didn't.
Whatever reason it is, for Review Tech USA, he doesn't like being called a pedophile. He's a father of...
That's because he's not. He's not a pedophile.
3 and is offended that I called him that because he said, I'm a fan of Vosh, deal with it, because he supports and defended Vosh, saying, he's on live stream, by the way, for anybody thinking I'm just being some asshole about this, he's on live stream defending Vosh, saying that he literally wants the age of consent lowered, and defending Vosh, saying Vosh didn't write those tweets. But then Vosh is on video saying the same thing. So, I mean, at this point, he's clearly knowingly backing up somebody with those values.
But he's not a pedophile. Do you see the logic? Just because Rich likes Vosh does not mean that he is a pedophile. Let's continue. We're almost done.
Okay, I can't help but think anything else. I'm not trying to attack him. He's literally like helping people with that kind of thing, okay? And so then you have Act Man. That's a whole other thing. This ballooned from him feeling like, oh, buddy, you opened up a new can of worms. His exact words, I've shown it in a video, where he literally feels like I tried to DMCA claim a video. That's crossing the line. It's a shitty thing. You never DMCA claim a creator. How about this, Act Man and the entire commentary community?
Missouri, just call me Mo.
I'm back where I belong. Ask your doctor for 2 days.
Say goodbye to extreme routines.
You don't take people's videos because you don't like their takes and harass them over it.
That's not what the community... oh, God. That's not what the community does at all. They give their input. They critique the video. And that's it. It's fair use. No one First off, you cannot steal a public video. It's public for a reason.
You can leave a comment, you can maybe touch on it, but to do what you guys do and sit on a creator for multiple uploads on multiple videos and harass them upload after upload, there's a problem with your...
But it's not harassing. It's not harassment in the slightest. It's just a video. And yes, while there is multiple videos of things, it's generally because something new has occurred, and let's cover it.
Behavior, and I hope YouTube finds out about this category of YouTuber. Fortanga Plays, oh no.
YouTube has known about the commentary community.
Oh, it's Alex, fucking Mischief, Griffin Gaming. The list of you cancerous, disgusting, parasitic drama channels goes on and on.
Okay, that is very harsh. That is very chilly. And, oh, that's very frosty. I felt it all the way over here. You don't like commentary channels. I get it. You don't like the community. That doesn't give you the right to say what you're saying. Now, what I just said does go against the First Amendment, because the First Amendment does say you have the freedom of speech, you have the freedom of press, you have the freedom of religion, of this, of that. Yes, I understand. But just because you don't like a certain batch of creators on YouTube does not mean you have the right to call them parasites and disgusting, because they're not they're not parasitic. They're not disgraceful. They're not disrespectful. In fact, a lot of the creators in the commentary community are actually very respectful. Here's the issue that you have. He's lumping them all. He's generalizing them. Let's continue.
And you truly make YouTube a dangerous place at this point, because I wouldn't be getting...
How the heck do you think that commentary, which YouTube does know about, you're acting like this catches YouTube off guard, and it doesn't, and it hasn't. You My thought will come back to me. Back up just a tad.
Alex, fucking Mischief, Griffin Gaming. The list of you cancerous, disgusting, parasitic drama channels goes on, and you truly make YouTube a dangerous place at this point. Because I wouldn't be getting these hate comments talking about TVs, as I've never had hate comments about TVs.
Okay, but let's compare what they do to what you did to stop the FOMO. And okay. HD TV tests. Okay. Let's talk about what you did. You quote unquote exposed them. You even went as far as to say that one of them was a Satanist just because they used the title screen of Lucifer for a couple of seconds. What's the difference between what you did and what they do? Absolutely, positively, unequivocally nothing.
It's always when you gamers get involved and you start dogpiling and doing all this shit and making big issues up and doing what Actman is currently doing, how he runs to other creators and says, get involved in this on Twitter. That's why this is as big as it is. It has nothing to do with transphobia or YouTube being conspiracy theorists or...
Actually, it has everything to do with that. Seriously. It does. You're just... Either Quantum is too dumb to realize it, or he pays no attention whatsoever.
Fighting with hate, there is no hatred here. I'm a guy that wants to make his content. I would like everybody to go back to their own business and leave me the hell alone and stop threatening my family. That would be great. And again, watch...
And I would really wish you would let this go and go back to your television reviews and fall into the void that is obscurity itself. That way everyone can just move on.
This whole video, break it down all you want, but at the end of the day, I just want to be left alone, and it's not happening, no matter what I do.
Because you keep opening up your trap. You keep opening up your mouth. What do you think is going to happen? And yes, I am breaking down your video. So, Quantum, thank you. Thank you so much.
And this is because they've spurred on a mob. And I'm the only creator...
It's not a mob. I know exactly what I'm going to title this video.
Notice that has this happening to him. I'm the only one talking about this happening to him
because you're the only one that cares at this point. No one cares anymore. That's the thing.
It's only happening to me because that's what they wanted. And they're going to keep doing it until YouTube tells them no and takes them down and shows them being a bigger YouTuber doesn't grant you immunity to be able to harass smaller creators.
But every YouTuber understands that, big and small alike. Just because I have a bigger fan base than you do, just because my community is bigger than you, than yours, doesn't give me the right to bully you. That's it. Every single YouTuber knows that.
And sit on them with your weight. There has to be somebody that's going to speak up about this in my favor and to the point of seeing that this is really unjust.
And it's not you.
Not that I want them canceled or terminated. I want them to be told to back the fuck off and leave this person alone. Because until...
You do realize that you're just digging a bigger hole for yourself. Because the more you open up your mouth, the more the worse this gets.
Somebody comes out from YouTube and says what you are doing is so very much harassment and it needs to stop, it's not going to stop. They're going to keep being like, well, you know what, YouTube, I'll just go to Twitch. You can't stop me. It's that attitude that...
Because you want to know why? That's what people do.
Promotes this behavior over and over again, and I truly hope that this is resolved without any malice or anything happening, because again, I never said anything about any of these creators until they started harassing me. Let that sink in. That being said,
it's not harassment.
That's the information. Kind of take it or leave it. I really hope...
That's one-sided. That's one-sided information, and you only care about, well, you said you were going to set the record straight, and you didn't set the record straight. So, what was your goal here? Your goal was to make you look better and to make everybody else look worse.
YouTube gets involved, but at the end of the day, I don't have that power. I don't have that say-so, and anyone suggesting conspiracy at YouTube because they're getting themselves in trouble, again, it's nothing more than them getting themselves in trouble. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, see you guys later.
#1 brand in dishonesty. So what does his pinned comment say? He said this should have ended with YouTube's verdict. Retaliation for their decision is getting way out of hand. I didn't do anything. You did. Leave me and my family alone. For clarity, most vegan restaurants have pride flags or are owned by members of the LGBT community. It's impossible to support those businesses but also be homophobic. It's not. True hatred wouldn't behave like that. Okay. Oh, so this is what GT a Dark Saber said. Okay. Since how is being vegan a disposition for having the capability to be homophobic? Vegan business owners are comprised homosexuals. What are you saying here? Sounds like a discriminatory generalization. That's because it is a generalization. Are you vegan? LOL. Thanks for letting me know about the ACT clan. On my way to join. Okay, there's no... now that I see this, this happened on one of my videos as well. One of my videos had one comment, and I went to go look at the comment, and there was nothing there. Can't believe all this started over someone not liking Elden Ring. It's because these weirdos view the game as a part of themselves, so they get triggered. Not even going to go into that. You don't dox anyone because you have your Discord cult following do it for you. No reply. Family should always be off limits. Get the strap. Hey, didn't you also email his mom saying that she's under criminal investigation? But hey, it only sucks when it happens to you, I guess. That's his name, and he has no problem letting everyone think it's his mother. That email was in response to his death threats. There were... okay. I'll be honest, I've mostly been following this from Ackman's side of things, but I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, when I'm shown I'm wrong. You've made some claims I don't remember seeing anything about, and I'd like to see the proof behind or your claims. I understand you're a busy man, so I'm not going to blame you if you can't provide this proof. I'll be looking into it myself anyway. One last thing, regardless of if you're on the right side or not, I want to say the death threats are too far. No one should have to fear for their life. I hope those people can get the help they need to realize how messed up their threats are. I'm sure justice will win on this. Who's on the right side of justice, I don't know, but I'm sure it will shine through. Quantum, you should be the final boss for the next Elden Ring. You're destroying everybody. That's funny. When you called his mother, that's when things got utterly petty. What a below-the-belt move. Absolutely pathetic. Then Quantum responds with, he created a digital lynch mob, not a... digital, yes. Lynch mob, no. That threatened my family based on his lies of copyright abuse. It wasn't copyright. You bet your butt I called/contacted him about it. His mother so happened to be the method of communication. Since his phone was disconnected, she decided to sit there playing gatekeeper for what's supposed to be a grown man. Had she shut her mouth and stayed out of it, passing my number to Act Boy, you are... maybe you'll think twice next time doing a video game review. Sue them? These people are crazy, man. All this started because you shared your opinion on a game. It's unfathomable that this has went this far. Here's the problem. Quantum wouldn't have a case. Nothing worth thinking once about. I will keep making review my way. Don't like it though. That literally made no sense. Bro, you are the GOAT. You are inspirational, standing up to the greater powers, smacking them with truth. Okay, this guy's just kissing. Why did you disable comments on every single video involving the QN90B? Fake comments that had nothing to do. The reason why I'm still in here no is because even if you were hacked in 2017, why did exactly? Justice for Quantum TV. I'm on your side. Okay, this is why I call them zombies, because they lap what he says up and they don't think for themselves. But anyway, I'm just, you know what? Just so everyone knows what I'm going to do, before I end this video, I'm just going to say hi. And that's that. I'm Hardcore Christopher. If you would like to be a member of our community, hit the subscribe button down below, then make sure you ring the bell and click all for every time I upload a video. If you don't, it's okay. I still respect you. At the end of the day, I'm just glad that you chose to spend a little bit of your time here with me. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.